Sunday, and you know what that means, Joseph Graham?
It's Sunday. It's the FN Wrestling Show, and we've got news and some bad news for a certain number of factions. All that and more.
On the All FN Wrestling Show.
Clear for takeoff.
That's all systems go. We need that AFW logo up. Stat.
You're watching the AFW Network.
Welcome everyone to the All FN Wrestling Show. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing dry, damn it. And give a shout out to JP who can't be on the show today. He's got some hospital stuff to do with his significant other. Our prayers go out once again to Jessica. There's also a GoFundMe going around. So we're going to put that in the link. And people want to donate, they can.
Or at least share it, get the word out. And I am the commissioner of AFW, the EVP of everything that is AFW, Commissioner Joe. How you doing today, Canada Dry?
I'm good. It's another day. I get to be alive, which is good.
Absolutely.
Positivity to start the new year. If you can't be positive, then fake it till you make it, right?
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, you want to. People might talk shit about faking it till you're making it, but it programs you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you keep doing that every single time, you're going to be a positive person.
Absolutely. And positivity goes a long way.
Yeah. Let's see who's watching right now.
Noob.
We got a good friend, Noob.
What's up, Noob? How you doing?
So this name just it just gets to me, millennial noob. So, are you a millennial noob, or is this just the noob of the new millennium?
What year were you born, noob? Let's answer this question once and for
all. We got Tiff in the chat. Yo,
what's up, Tiffany?
He's 1991. So is he?
Yeah, it's definitely millennial.
He's a millennial.
Yeah, that is that's smack dab in the middle of millennial. There ain't no escaping.
So maybe he didn't know he was a millennial. So he's like, oh shit, I'm a millennial? I'm gonna make this part of my name. Your dog's cry bloody murder.
Sorry, my dog was howling at my son.
Your dog is crying bloody murder.
She's just a pain. She's all barking.
It's really like nothing too, and she's just like.
It was my son was going outside. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. So it is literally nothing.
Yeah, literally nothing.
Yes, that is his dog.
Yep.
All right, let's get on with it. We got a little segment we do every Sunday. It's called The News.
From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB.
One of these days, you're going to get your name involved in it. It's like
not a big deal.
It's like he's the third member of the show, and you just get recognized in all these little segments.
Okay, so got quite a few things to talk about today. First thing we're going to talk about is, in case you didn't know, or I've been living under a rock for the last couple months, AEW finally started streaming on Max this past week, and tomorrow is the first episode of Raw on Netflix.
Yeah, so streaming is making its way into the wrestling world.
And I, for one, couldn't be happier. For one, it opens up the opportunities for more people to watch, especially with people nowadays cutting the cord, not having cable. And number two, you know what's most important? It's going to cut out all these stupid ratings talks.
Yeah.
No more comparing ratings of, oh, well, your show didn't have as many viewers as my show.
Well, yeah, like I think rating is very antiquated now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been antiquated because you have DVR. So, I mean, it's. I think it's just, especially probably people out my age and maybe more your age, who grew up a certain way, like in the '90s, of it's live TV and that's all you had, and that's all that mattered.
The nice thing about the streaming is you can watch it whenever.
Like, I went back yesterday and rewatched Double or Nothing 2019.
Okay, so I don't have that option here in Canada for AEW, but I can watch every single AEW pay-per-view I've ever bought on Triller/Fight TV.
Nice.
So maybe I might go back and watch some old AEW pay-per-views as well.
I will say, what we have now is so much better. Like, Marvez was on commentary for that first pay-per-view. Oh, it's brutal.
As you know, if you've been watching us for a hot minute, we here at the AFW Network are not fans of Marvez.
Not at all.
We would even call him a pumpkin head dipshit.
And the president of that club, Mr. Isaac, makes it very well known.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, let's see. Up next, this is kind of controversial, I think, but according to Fightful Select, WWE is in talks of bringing in one of our favorite hot button list, Mr. Hogan, back to Raw. What do we think about that?
I'm curious what his role would be.
I don't know. Maybe just as he might just be talking up his beer, because have you seen the picture going around of the new mat? In one of the corners, it's Hogan's beer brand that is a sponsor of the show.
Do you know what I would do with Hulk Hogan, honestly, if you're bringing him back?
What?
Hulk Hogan's never had this. Give him his own talk show. Like a little Piper's Pit sort of corner.
That could work, yeah.
Like if you're gonna make him like sporadically part of the show, just give him his own little. I don't know what you call it, but
yeah,
Real American with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
But,
I can't even think of a witty name to come up with.
You know what you call it? You call it the Whopper Factory.
Nah. That would work really well. Also, this was breaking right. This was breaking right before we came on to do our podcast, but The Rock has confirmed he will be on Raw tomorrow night as well. Tomorrow's looking to be a very stacked Raw, as it should be for its debut on Netflix. So,
yeah, I've been taking advantage of some of this Netflix stuff. As you've been watching some AEW, I went back and I watched the first 3 Royal Rumbles.
the ones that meant absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they've been up, but I was entertained because it was nostalgia. It was fueled on nostalgia for a while. And last night I watched.
Okay, let's be honest. You said you watched the first 3 Rumbles.
Yeah.
Other than Hogan, who was in them, how many did you instantly remember or recognize from like the music as it played over the PA system?
Oh, everyone.
Nice. See, because I think that's the problem with WWE nowadays. Like, I watched this past year's Royal Rumble, and I didn't know anybody just from like the music. I had to wait until they decided to finally show someone on the camera because all their music is just so generic and the same.
Royal Rumble 19. Actually, the 88 started with a match between Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Rick Rude.
Oh, nice.
And this was a really good match. And then we had in 1990, we had a match between Ronnie Garvin, Rugged Ronnie Garvin, and Greg the Hammer Valentine, a submission match. And these are matches I've never watched before. And the submission that Garvin won it with was a reverse figure four, also known as
Sharpshooter.
yes. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like that's probably the first time I've seen it.
I never thought to call the Sharpshooter or the Scorpion Deathlock a reverse figure four.
Well, if you think about it, when they turn him over, it looks a lot.
It does. Yeah. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. It's just it never clicked in my mind to think of it.
No, that's what I thought too. I'm like a reverse figure four. That's
like even when you roll, even like how they do now, and they roll over onto their stomachs to reverse the figure four. Like I never really put two and two together. He could just stand up and pull up into something like that.
We got someone backstage.
Oh, nice.
Let's see what Shane O'Mac has in store for us. Hey Shane, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you guys doing this Sunday morning?
Doing good.
Since there's a Canadian on the show, I want to actually bring up something, a hot topic right now. Well, what lucky state Canadians are as of 2025 for the state of pro wrestling. Even though I might not be partaking a lot, but right now in Canada, we have more access to professional wrestling than we've ever had in our lives before. Because now with WWE doing the Netflix jump, Sportsnet, which was broadcasting WWE, has now taken TNA over. So now we got access to TNA without being on some random Fight Network network that's high up in the and now AEW's got an expansion in Canada because now they're on this USA Network, Canada, which that also with certain telecable packages is easy access to. But now we went from only getting small access to WWE and Dynamite to now we're getting access to 3 different brands with all their shows right now. So what do you guys think about that? Especially not just Canadian market, but like other markets outside of USA to get that. Like,
I mean, well, obviously it's good for the industry as a whole. Yeah. And what also this tells me is that it's no longer like you have to be like the closet wrestling fan anymore.
Yeah.
Like after the 90s, early 2000s, it wasn't cool to be a wrestling fan when it was just WWE.
You're right. Yeah.
After the Monday Night Wars, nobody wore the T-shirts anymore.
Yeah.
And now you see them everywhere. So I think it's nothing but good for the business.
So I watched TNA and I gotta say it blows.
It does. I know. That's why I haven't watched it.
I haven't.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it another chance on Thursday. This Thursday coming up. But the backstage segments are so bad.
That's been my problem with TNA for a long time. It just, especially the way they angle the footage, that it's just a weird camera shots with their segments, and it's too much.
I half expect it to turn into a porn segment. The acting's so bad. It's like, wait a second, is everyone's going to drop down their drawers?
For TNA to be the third biggest brand in North America, at least in the States and Canada, I would say, not so much Mexico. I don't say this to be mean, but it feels like a legitimate, just like an indie bingo hall. Because I've watched a couple episodes and their production value is so low, and just their stages looks incomplete.
So everything, video package too, man. Yeah.
Tiffany with the counter here, playing devil's advocate. They have good matches though.
Yeah, but you know what? But just like they say, with your food, you eat with your eyes first before you consume the food.
Yeah. Well, it's funny what you say though about the old school fans. A lot of them seem to be coming back because I got a lot of buddies in different group chats, guys that were fans of the WCW versus WWE, WCW versus WWF era, Nitro versus Raw. A lot of these guys now, since Netflix did the whole thing, they're going back watching the old Royal Rumbles, the old Survivor Series, the old WrestleMania. So not only do we have now the, like what I was talking about, more choices on the menu for Canadian market, but the fact that some of these guys that used to watch it can't stand it now it's being exposed to it on Netflix because it just popped up on their Netflix. Like, hey, now I'm going to start watching all the nostalgia stuff too. So it's kind of been, we're really kind of in a lucky shape right now as far as that regard, but it might be too much.
I have another bone to pick. AEW dropped the ball big time. They should have took less money to go to Sportsnet than staying on TSN.
Well, did Sportsnet want them is the question.
They did. They said true. there was
okay.
Why I say they dropped the ball is because you're getting the WWE people that used to watch on Sportsnet. They're like, okay, now what do I want? So the TNA product is like, they'll be like, Brett, this is what I'm getting now.
That's
they would have been like, okay, you would have possibly get some new fans. So I think they dropped the ball on that one. All right, should we move on next up? You're welcome to stay for the news here, Shane.
I'll come back in a bit because I'm going to try to think of advice. I have to, go take a Monet right now.
Oh, someone doesn't like Ladies Monet.
We'll stick. I got 4 items. We're going to bundle them in together in 2 things, but we got 2 WWE bits of news. We have Tiffany Stratton has finally cashed in her Money in the Bank on Friday night and is the new WWE Women's Champion after defeating Nia Jax. So congratulations to her. I know everyone is excited about it. Hopefully it works out.
To me, Tiffany Stratton is the one star that WWE has really made in the women's division.
In a while, I would say.
Yeah, in the last 2 years.
In about 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's a big deal.
Yeah. And she's young.
Yeah.
And she's attractive, and it's what WWE wants. They're gonna hopefully just give her the ball and let her run and see what she can do. Hopefully they don't do what they usually do with other Money in the Bank winners where you just give them a quick 2-month run and then just take the belt off of them.
Shane goes, I'm not kidding. Coffee hit my tummy.
Oh, God. Okay, next item we have is, for those of you that did not hear, but it's basically all but confirmed that in January of 2026, Saudi Arabia will be hosting the Royal Rumble. And on top of that, it's possible, because WWE is looking into it, it may very well be the first 2-night Royal Rumble. That's just me prognosticating, nothing official.
All right, so let's talk about this, because you're going to get a lot of haters on this.
Yep.
But let's think about this instead of from this is a business move.
Oh, exactly. Yes, absolutely. Business-wise, makes all the sense in the world. But from me as a human, I absolutely hate it. I wish WWE would get out of bed with something.
Okay, so this is what I think on the matter. I feel that way too. Same as you, but from a WWE perspective, as long as the money they're getting is greater than the people who are pissed off about it, they're going to keep doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, let's say a fan's like, I hate this, but he still watches it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing's going to happen unless people quit watching
Yeah,
Saudi
you
shows.
make, you make big posts about it. This is bullshit. I boycott. People start sharing it. Goes viral.
But it'll never happen.
No, it won't, because people are like, they'd rather just bitch than do nothing about it. So yeah, that's the point.
I mean, me personally, I've never once watched a Saudi show ever, and I never will. So
there you go.
I mean, yeah, Millennial Noob does make a good point. The Royal Rumble being on at like noon would be great.
So yeah, I think it's great in the afternoon. Maybe, and I guess what we might have to because I think that would be great for an after show. But
I guess you're gonna make me watch the show, ain't you?
you got a year to warm up to this idea. We can bitch about it though. We can talk shit.
I will. You can rest assured that will happen.
All right. Shay goes, when you have shareholders, it's hard to explain when you turn down $90.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And I understand that. But like I said, I'm not a shareholder. So fuck that.
So the other thing is when you are a corporate stooge in WWE, when you do this, you get year-end bonuses.
Yeah. So
you personally have something stake in this.
And it's not just that. Like, WWE isn't the end-all be-all. WWE doesn't own WWE anymore.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do anything in if they wanted to.
Yeah, so TKO
is owned by Endeavor.
So that's
ultimately
the stock.
Endeavor.
WWE stock anymore, right?
No. So there's no WWE stock. There's TKO stock, which is the holding company that holds both WWE and UFC, which is owned by Endeavor.
Yeah. So is there Endeavor stock then? Or is there TKO stock?
No, it's TKO. They're the holding company.
Okay.
So it's TKO stock. Okay. On to some not so angry news from me. But Saturday night was Collision, but before that, they always do some dark matches. Well, it turned out JoJo Offerman was there doing ring announcing. For those of you that don't know, that is the wife of the late Bray Wyatt.
I'm surprised that she makes her debut in AEW because WWE is having some announcer problems over there. They're getting like Lillian Garcia to come back. I thought like they would call her back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe she just didn't want to. Maybe there's some behind the scenes legal troubles with Bray that she just doesn't want to deal with. She's like, I don't want to deal with it. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Okay. Yeah. Or maybe they AEW offered first.
That, or like Shane says, it may just be a one-off thing.
Yeah.
She was just there. I don't know. Like, I don't know what matches she was announcing. It was probably some ROH matches, honestly. It's usually what they do.
But JoJo's a good announcer.
Yes, absolutely. Like, that is the one thing WWE has never been hurting on is ring announcers. You look at the history of ring announcers that they had. They've never had bad ring announcers. Because you have JoJo, then you have I'm drawing Samantha, Tony Chimel,
the Fink.
Justin Roberts was like they don't have bad ring announcers. So
who's the guy that I don't know if you know this, but who's the guy that Shane McMahon kept on making him?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, but that was a guy. I don't know.
That was the guy who replaced the Fink.
Right? I thought that was the guy that replaced Justin Roberts.
When they're doing the best in the world thing, right? Yeah. Oh,
and they had that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't know who he is. So, anyways,
okay. One more item to talk about.
Randy was the ring announcer as well. Let's not forget that.
Yep, that's how her and Cody met. Yeah. And then finally, over the last 2 days, we had Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty, and a lot of noteworthy news came out there. A lot of AEW talent has won new titles, probably to the chagrin of some people in our group. But Mercedes Moné is now the undisputed Rev Pro British champion. So she's carrying around 4 belts now.
That's got to be she's not a big woman.
No, not at all.
That's got to be some heavy, shit to carry around with you.
Yeah, I would think so. And then probably my favorite story from this weekend, El Phantasmo won the New Japan Television Championship. For those of you that don't know, he just came back from defeating cancer. So that's great news. That's an awesome story to hear. And, of course, I know a little special place in your heart. He's a Vancouver boy.
Yes.
So, and then the Young Bucks, they won the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Konosuke Takeshita is the never open weight champion. And I think that's it. I think that's all.
That was in Wrestle Kingdom, not Wrestle Dynasty.
Yes, most of those were Wrestle Kingdom. And then at Wrestle Dynasty, we had the return of Kenny Omega facing off against Gabe Kidd. And Ricochet.
That was a banger.
I heard it too. I mean, it's not even fair. Kenny Omega hasn't wrestled legit in 13 months. Just comes back out of the blue in New Japan and says, let's put on match of the year to start the year. It's not fair. And then Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Ricochet by submission to retain the IWGP Heavyweight title.
So some big things going on. Now, does the Young Bucks show back up in AEW TV with these belts now?
They teased showing up on Wednesday. They cut a promo after Wrestle Dynasty that AEW put up, teasing showing up this Wednesday for Kenny's match. Or because Kenny was going to be there and having an announcement or something, they teased showing up with the IWGP titles.
So are they friends again, story-wide?
I don't know. They weren't saying oh, we're chum. He's like, oh, Kenny's going to be there on Wednesday. Maybe we should go there and listen. So I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting.
I think that's something we should poll our community. Be like, should they drop it, or do you want to see these guys feud? Be interesting to see what the results are.
Well, because they're talking about Kenny going up against Okada. Mm-hmm. And Okada, the Young Bucks are the elite still, technically. So.
Technically, yeah. So we will see. It'll be interesting. But that's all the news I have. So.
All right. Let's get into the main event. Why everyone's here. We're going to be talking about the 10 worst factions ever. And this is something we do quite often. We get into the worst. We're generally a positive wrestling community, but every once in a while we need to vent. We need to talk about the worst things in pro wrestling. And,
but you know what? We can all look. Even though we're mentioning the worst, I guarantee you we're going to have some laughs.
Yes.
Talking about these guys.
Let's play the main event.
This is the main event of the evening.
So, here we go. The worst. So when we talk about factions, it's interesting to talk this little thing is that when the factions first started, I don't know, I can't go way back, but I think of Four Horsemen.
Yeah, that's the first for me, the first OG legit faction.
And then for WWF and all that back then, the Heenan family was a faction.
Yep. And then the Freebirds, I consider them a faction.
Yeah, so these when there's a faction, they got the push back then. Like they were a big deal.
Yes, absolutely.
Like in the Heenan family, Hogan went through them all. They were all in the main events.
Yep.
Like they
And
made
then
a
you
lot of
think-
money wrestling with Hulk Hogan.
Speaking of Hogan, then you had Money Inc. Hogan ran through all of those guys. You had DiBiase, Kama Mustafa, IRS, some other guys I can't even remember.
Tatanka.
That was weird.
Tatanka sold his soul to the $1 Million Man.
Yeah.
All right, so without further ado, let's get into these, and we're going to start off at number 10.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, but real quick, as we're going through these, if you guys think we are wrong or have a better one, leave us a comment. But don't just say, "Oh, this." Tell us why, and we'll read it and we can have a discussion.
Yeah,
But number
someone who's not on our list.
Yeah.
Is the Fusion Collective, and Noob's going to tell us why the Fusion Collective deserves to be on this list.
The name sucks for one.
Okay, it sounds like a restaurant. Welcome to the Fusion Collective. How can we help you?
Yep. Okay, so number 10 on our list is the Spirit Squad. Obviously, like,
so do we know who these guys are?
I know two of them. Dolph and Kenny. I don't know the other three.
Okay, let me see if I can find.
Well, it was like Nikki, Mikey. Yeah, I don't remember. I just know
Kenny, Mikey, Johnny, Mitch, and Nikki. Which one was Dolph Ziggler?
I think Dolph was Nikki.
All right. So yeah, they were tag team champions. So
yeah, all five of them.
Oh, that's right. That was the first time that they ever let.
It was like these guys are just on the list because other than being tag champions, like they were just like all I remember them for is just being fodder for the reunited DX.
But okay, let's clarify here. When they first came in, they came in and they were kicking ass.
Yeah, and then they just
like being in a feud with DX. Wasn't that a Saturday Night Main Event and stuff like that?
I don't remember, but it is a big deal to be in a feud with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. So.
Yeah. And weren't they part of that God angle with Vince McMahon?
Oh yeah, Vince and then like they were just basically Vince McMahon's henchmen is what they were. So obviously they were just.
But let's talk about the idea behind this is a bunch of male cheerleaders.
Yeah, like I mean, I get it. The whole point was to get them heat, but you should probably know your demographic when it's mostly men. It's probably a bad idea to just do male cheerleaders.
If you had one hot woman cheerleader in there, it might have changed the dynamic.
It might have, but I don't think they were really committed to it like they should have been. And then
the only one that really made it out of this group was Dolph Ziggler.
Well, Kenny Dykstra also made it. He had a little bit of a solo run.
No, but a little bit. That's what I'm saying. It disappeared.
Yeah, basically.
When John Cena sold his girlfriend, Mickie James.
Yeah. Do you remember how Spirit Squad was written off of TV?
No. Do you remember?
Yeah, they were put in a box and they were shipped back to OVW.
That's good. That's good. That's a good way to do it.
Yep. Oh, if they would have had someone like a Julia Hart when she was the cheerleader.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our number 9.
Okay. Number 9 is the 3-man band.
The 3-man band. Let's see where we.
So that was Jinder Mahal, Heath Slater, then Drew McIntyre, and this was all pre all of them basically being fired and coming back to the company, except for Heath Slater.
Okay, my beef with this is calling he had this. Heath Slater had this gimmick being the one-man band,
Yep.
and it was so goofy.
Like,
and then you decide upon Drew McIntyre's fall from, I guess, Vince McMahon
Grace.
good books.
Yeah.
He's no longer the chosen one. He's now
The jokester one.
Yeah. And then you get Jinder Mahal, part of this group.
I think the reason why this group is on here is just because we could see the potential of the three and what happens later on down the road. But they were treated like, and this is going to be a recurring theme for me, is they were treated like such jokes. Like they weren't taken seriously. Like you have them in the middle of the ring playing air instruments, for God's sake.
Well, if you think about it, I don't think it's a punishment from Vince McMahon to Jinder Mahal to Drew McIntyre. And because I don't think he saw anything in Heath Slater.
Which is crazy because I thought he was a good talent. Now, obviously, he was never going to be world heavyweight champion, but I mean,
he's got kids.
Yeah, he has the charisma.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the 3MB was a pretty bad faction. I don't think they won anything.
No, they never won anything.
Let's check the comments here.
You got Shane talking about how the Claymore was accidentally invented. Yeah, because they were wearing those really tight leather pants, so obviously it restricts your movement. So yeah, he ripped his pants, and I guess that's just one leg came up and not the other.
Well, it's the same. Some of the best moves are invented by accident.
Yeah,
the DDT was Jake had him in a headlock and fell back.
Yeah.
And it was like this. It was like, and that's how it got invented. And now it's like a commonly used move. Tiffany still has love for Heath Slater.
Oh yeah, like he's great. Like I said, he has his character and he has it down to a science.
And is he still jobbing in TNA?
I don't even know if he's even in TNA anymore, to be honest with
Tiffany Trim, you know a lot about all these wrestlers. Is Heath Slater still in TNA? Let's get back to our number 8 on the list.
Number 8 on the list is The Core with 2 R's. This was so bad. This was right off the heels of the Nexus where they split, and then to turn it off, like the reason why there's 2 R's in the core is because there's miscommunication in between, I think, Justin Gabriel and the higher ups or something like that. Like,
I like the cross on the shirt that was going across like that.
Yeah,
I think but the 2 R's is like,
yeah.
There was a wrestling show in Canada with Jimmy Corderas, the referee.
Yep.
And he said, I think a really good shirt would be rotten and then there'd be an apple core, all just gross the core.
Mm.
So the idea between the core is this is the core of the Nexus.
And Ezekiel Jackson.
Yes. And Ezekiel. And the original idea was there was no leaders to this faction.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. It's a concept that has never worked in anything wrestling ever when it comes to saying, oh, we're all equals. It doesn't work.
And this actually hurt Wade Barrett a lot.
Yeah. He
So
would have
going
just
from
been.
the Nexus.
Yeah.
Being the
He would have
main
been
guy.
better off just solo.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the Nexus didn't really do much for him either, but that's another story for another time.
And like, let's talk about Heath Slater being part of all these factions.
Yeah. He's had some rotten luck when it comes to being in groups.
The one faction that he was part of that was cool was the Nexus.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Spoiler: Nexus is not on our list today. Don't worry, guys. Don't have a heart attack.
yeah. Well, they kind of are.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. So our next one, and this is a special request from you, and it is the Mean Street Posse. And the only member I remember this besides Shane is Pete Gas. It's the only name I remember.
Okay, Pete, I purposely saved these in my browser. So you got Pete Gas, Rodney, just Rodney, Joey Abs.
Yes, Joey Abs.
But no one ever sees his abs. He's got the sweater on.
I love it. They're always from the mean streets of Greenwich.
So the funny thing is originally like Shane McMahon is the leader of this faction.
Yes.
And then he's like nowhere to be seen with them.
No, he's sort of just like, I feel like he would every once in a while come around and ask him to do some dirty work for him, but like he was never really directly involved with them.
Like at the beginning he was, and then it just kind of like
he's like, nah, this ain't working. Let's
like, this is making me look bad.
Yeah. He's looking out for himself.
So
I know a couple years ago, I think some of the Main Street Posse guys came back, didn't they?
I think there was like a reunion of this Mean Street Posse. Pete Gas for sure. But I don't.
Yeah. Once again, these guys are on the list just because they didn't do anything. Like they just.
Teddy says he's not in TNA at this time. So
Okay.
He's out of
Thank you for that.
the main echelon. Noob says the Mean Street Posse were a horrible faction.
Well, I'm glad we are hitting the notes on what this list is supposed to be. Okay.
Anything else you want to say on the Mean Street Posse?
Nah, like there's just not much to say about them. They were put in a high profile position because of who his friends were. Friends. I don't even know if they're friends in real life. But they just didn't do anything. Like they didn't bring anything of value to the show.
Mean Street Posse, Spirit Squad, who's worse?
What was that?
Mean Street Posse, Spirit Squad, who's worse? Well, it's got to be the Mean Street Posse further down the list. So,
yeah, I mean, honestly, I made this list, and other than my top 4, I had a really hard time saying who should be 5 through 10 because I just feel like they could all be interchangeable.
But I feel at least the Spirit Squad had tag belts.
Yeah, I think
and Dolph Ziggler came out of it.
Yeah, I think Mean Street Posse was because, like you said, the Spirit Squad was feuding with DX.
Yeah. And
they were the right-hand henchmen of Vince.
Yeah.
So they had something going for them.
Versus the Mean Street Posse were the right hand of Shane McMahon.
Yes. And didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, says, Mean Street Posse wasn't pleasant seeing again rewatching those old Raws.
So you're saying they didn't age well, is what you're saying. Okay, up next.
What number is that?
7.
Okay, so this
so
is
we've done 4. Yeah, so this is 6 coming up. Up next is our first AEW faction, and that's the Factory.
The Factory.
led by QT Marshall after he turned on Cody. And for a while, it just felt like there was 50 bodies in the Factory. And none of them were any good. Like, because here you have QT Marshall, Anthony Ogogo, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarota.
Tim Jones says the Blue Beanie was in the Mean Street. Blue Meanie was in the Mean Street Posse.
Maybe. I don't remember that, but it's possible.
Blue Meanie
would do anything.
So, the Factory. There was a few other guys other than these four guys.
Yeah, there was quite a few, but these are the four main ones of
Camarado, Aaron Solo, QT Marshall, and
Anthony Ogogo.
Anthony Ogogo, yes.
The governor, because he's from the UK.
So, yeah, I can't even tell you who the hell those other guys were.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. Like, it was just it felt like there was no plan other than go feud with Cody.
So they had the big moment where they beat the living shit out of Cody.
Yep.
And QT Marshall turned heel and sat on the throne on the stairs with the wrestlers. Were they holding it, or was it just around him?
I don't remember.
But yeah, so
didn't they steal his bus and renamed it just the Factory Bus or something like that?
I don't remember that part, but
maybe I could be making it up.
But this was part of Cody's big exodus from AEW.
Well, this was part of it. This was part of what was affectionately known as Cody Island, because it just felt like Cody was in AEW off to the side doing his own thing. And that's why a lot of people turned on Cody.
Yeah, this is part of what turning is like his match against Ogogo.
Yeah, where he solved racism.
Yes. But yeah, so and this is their only notable thing that the Factory ever did.
Yeah.
And then feels like Tony Khan was doing Cody a favor to put over the Factory guys.
This was absolutely here, QT. Let's get you on TV because you've done a lot for the company type deal is what I feel like.
Yeah.
So. Okay, up next.
That was number 6.
Yeah. So now we're down to 1, 2, 3. Number 5 on our list. And I put this on the list just because it was during the if you remember the 90s in WWF, like faction war. This was arguably the worst faction out of all of them. And it was the Oddities. Had Luna Vachon, Kurgan. I think the Jackal, which is Don Callis, was the manager of the group. Like, it was bad.
The Oddities. And the guy in the mask, what was his name?
I don't remember to save my life.
But it's the Earthquake.
Oh, Earthquake. Oh, gosh.
Earthquake in a mask.
Oh, yeah. Like, this was just... You talk about just a bunch of people thrown together with no direction or purpose.
And you even had the Insane Clown Posse, part of that group.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that
came out the Insane Clown Posse music.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like Insane in the Membrane or something like that, right? Or
I feel like this group was born as a result of a Howard Stern segment on Raw. I feel Howard Stern was there, and he had like Wee Man or something like, or some people like that. I feel like that was.
You know who felt like should have been a part of this group? Goldust. When he had that breakdown and he was doing all the different color suits and everything, he felt like he would have been a perfect match for that group.
If you had Goldust in there and Mankind as the leader.
Oh, that would have worked.
Right?
It would have gave him some instant legitimacy, that's for sure.
Yeah, just like these are my warriors.
Yeah.
But I feel this is before Mankind really took off.
I think it was right around the time that he came in and you couldn't pull him out of that feud with The Undertaker. That would have been bad. So
that was number 5, the oddities.
Yeah.
Let's see what our fans have to say. Jim Doe says Karma's the star of the oddities. That's
the
good.
Cartman doll, yeah. Oh, it's great
show
show.
by ICP.
That was their theme song.
Yes, Luna was in the oddities. Was this an actual song or just made for WWE?
I have no idea. I was not a fan of ICP, so.
But the ICP was big in wrestling. They were all over the place. They were in WCW at the time. Then they made their Juggalo wrestling.
Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And they,
Like,
also
the
had Fago Soda, which they were highly associated with.
I also believe they were in that video game Backyard Wrestling.
Never played it, but I believe they were.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're up to the top 4.
All right. Let me get back to all right, number 4. Let's hear it.
And these are the 4 that I felt very highly on, were like the 4 worst factions we could think of at the time. With number 4 being the New Nexus.
The New Nexus. So you got CM Punk. You got
David
Bray
Otunga,
Wyatt, who was known as Husky Harris at the time.
Husky Harris, Curtis Axel. I forget. I think that's what he was known as then.
The one who was married to the Hollywood star. What's her name?
That's David Otunga, who was married to Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
And then you had Mason Ryan, who
Yes.
I swear to God, the first night he debuted, I thought, what is Batista doing here? Like, he just looked like a skinny ripoff of Batista.
Yeah, they could have done his hair different or something like that.
Yeah.
Give his gimmick a bit more. But let me say this. Anytime you stick new in front of it in wrestling, it's bad.
Not good. Like the new, well, was there like a new Heart Foundation?
Yes, there was a new Rockers. There was
all the new Rockers was Marty Jannetty and Al Snow.
who's known as Leaf Rolene at the time. What else is there? There's a lot of news in wrestling.
Yeah, I can't even think of any.
But
yeah, but this was just bad just because, like, when you have CM Punk involved in something, you expect it to be big, and it fell flat on its face. I don't even remember them. And, I mean, look at who they paired him with. Like I said, Mason Ryan, like, he was green as you could be. David Otunga just can't wrestle.
I believe they were tag champions in this. I believe it was Husky Harris and Michael McGillicuddy at the time.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible. I
think I remember them being tag champ, but that was on the tag belts were worth nothing.
Yeah, that's when everybody was, and when the tag titles were only will the champion and challenger be able to coexist going into WrestleMania, because they did that with Cena all the time.
This is pre Jericho and Big Show winning the belts, I believe.
Yep. And this was also before they were unified, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which made it even worse. Okay. So
it's 3.
Ready? Number 3.
Number 3.
And this is another.
Well, let's go to the comments. I got a few comments here. Mason Ryan looked like Steve Blackman on steroids.
Yeah.
I can see that. It's like buff Steve Blackman.
Yeah. But not nearly as talented as Steve Blackman.
Gabriel was one of the tag champs. Not in that, because he was part
that
of
was
the
in
core.
regular Nexus. He was tag champions in the Nexus. I don't know about New Nexus.
Yeah, because he was the core, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, because we talked about him earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 3 and I'm sure everyone here will agree. But the Nightmare Collective in AEW, which was Brandy's attempt at a faction, it was her, Luther, I believe, and Awesome Kong. And I don't know the fourth one. I can't remember.
Oh, what was this girl's name with the shaved head?
I don't remember.
If you guys in chat can look it up, tell us who it had. Like a single, like just a single name, not a last name.
Like this was bad. Like it didn't last long. This was one of those things that Tony Khan put an axe to real
Well, the
quick.
fans were bitching about it, and
Because it wasn't good, and no one wanted Brandy. No one wanted her to be on screen.
okay, what I did like about this one was how they ended it. I thought it was brilliant.
I don't remember. How did they end it?
They had Brandy having these psychological assessments and talk and it turns out the person she was talking to all along is just a stuffed animal. So
Oh, that's bad. Yeah. Like I said, and you see why they were number 3 on our list. Other than Awesome Kong, no one there was
wrong in AEW.
No, not at all.
70 cents previously to our last one. It hurts my soul how they screwed up Curtis Axel.
Oh, that's a whole podcast on its own. How do you have the son of Mr. Perfect and you don't reference that lineage at all?
Like originally calling him Michael McGillicuddy. That's a Was this I Love Lucy? He's like the grandson of I Love Lucy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, we ready to move on to number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2 is Retribution.
Retribution.
What
So what I hate most about this are the masks.
Yeah, the masks were bad. I think my problem is like this group came out at a time when there was a lot of political unrest here in the States. I just found it in extremely poor taste.
Then what are they getting retribution for?
Good question. I don't know. Like here, like the storyline just didn't make any sense because while they were masked and we didn't know who they were, they're like, oh, these people, they just causing issues, and then like the next week they're like, we've signed them to contracts. Why would you do that?
and apparently Ali had a mask as well.
Yeah, he was masked, and then like, he's had a couple of pretty bad gimmicks or would-be bad gimmicks.
Yeah,
and, like honestly, like the whole reason why this got axed was Fox was like, no, you got to stop this.
And then you had all these guys from Retribution on social, mainly one of them was just talking trash. When he's on TV doing bad shit, and he's talking trash to like Jericho and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the Retribution. Oddly enough, I believe Judgment Day doesn't exist without Retribution.
Explain, because I don't see it. But
okay, so Retribution failed. Judgment Day is his replacement.
Okay, I mean, maybe it's possible. Yeah.
That's, I think, because like we need another big faction. Let's start fresh. And Judgment Day succeeded where Retribution failed.
I mean, Judgment Day succeeded in spite of Vince McMahon, not because of it. Vince McMahon, that's for sure.
Oh,
like they wanted to make Judgment Day a supernatural, magical, spooky thing, and Edge was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that."
What Judgment Day? Again, we're talking about bad factions now. What Judgment Day has become, though?
Yeah, it's a shell of its former self.
I almost feel like you need to just break this whole group up at this point.
I imagine it's coming.
Like they're teasing the rift between Dom and
that should absolutely be like. I know most people won't like it, but that should be the Mania match. It should be Dom versus Finn.
yeah, with Finn being the demon.
Yeah, well, I love
We haven't seen the demon in a long time.
Well, he said he doesn't want to do it that much anymore, so which is understandable because the last time we saw the demon on main TV, it wasn't good. At least the last time I remember, he got squashed by the Fiend. So
yeah, like if you're gonna bring out the demon, he better win. Like that's what I say. I'll bring out the demon.
No. Did he bring out the demon for his cage match against Edge? Anybody in the chat know? Because I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. Finn is Dark Flamingo.
Oh, God.
Now, if you guys don't know, the Dark Flamingo is Tim Tobin. It's the Pancake Man's alter ego. The Pancake King's alter ego.
Then how can, if this is alter ego, how can Finn be that?
Yeah, I don't know. He must have
Kinda
inspired Finn retroactively.
Okay, are we ready for our number one worst faction?
Our number one worst faction. All right,
and
let's hear
that would be the League of Nations.
The League of Nations, our worst faction. Okay, so you got
It's Rusev, Wade Barrett, Sheamus, and Alberto Del Rio.
now you look at these guys at the time. Like Rusev has Rusev Day, he's over as hell. Alberto Del Rio, he's got real like heat, really good heat. Sheamus, like
It's Sheamus, like he doesn't. He's fresh off that returning from injury because he has that stupid mohawk and beads in his beard.
And Wade Barrett is coming off this bad news thing. Bad news Barrett.
Yep.
He's hot.
I mean, obviously, for me, this faction is number one just because look at the potential of main eventers in this group, and they did nothing. They ran them out at WrestleMania to get beat up by Austin, HBK, and Mick Foley. Like, come on now. You couldn't have picked.
They all took a downgrade to be part of this faction.
They did.
Actually, Wade Barrett
was
red hot.
And it's sad, too.
This bad news stuff.
Because Wade Barrett ties Heath Slater for most in our top 10 of worst factions.
Yes. So he gets he becomes King Barrett.
Yep, because he won King of the Ring.
So like the bad news part is stripped of him. He's just King Barrett. And it's so bad. He becomes the worst member of the faction. Like
I don't know. I still think
that.
Yeah, he did, and it's a shame because there is like Tiffany says, like the idea was good and it makes sense. It's just shockingly the execution was horrible.
Shane says they should have been a great faction. The idea was good, but Tiffany, if they had Cesaro, Gunther, they would be a strong faction. Cesaro could have been a part of this faction. That's too, right?
Yeah, because he's from he's from Switzerland, and they were notoriously neutral. They don't really.
What would have been great is he just goes neutral on all the. They're like, let's do this, and he's just like,
no, guys, let's just stay over here.
Or he's just like, I'm fine either way. Just all these neutral comments. Tell my wife I said Hello.
Okay, so that's our top 10. But I do have two honorable mentions because these two were on our list until me and Canada Dry came up with some others. So our first honorable mention is the Social Outcasts. And
I gotta say, I really dig the Social Outcasts.
yeah, just they could have been such a
They
great
started winning. They started upsetting and winning.
yeah, and then they just dropped it for no reason other than Vince just be like, "I'm bored, next."
Yeah.
And who's Social Outcast? It was Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel.
I think that's it.
Now there's a fourth, and I can't.
Heath
Can't.
Slater.
It might have been Slater.
Another bad member. Another one that honorable mention is the Job Squad.
Yeah. I mean, I could give you a couple honorable mentions. Tim, I had Mexicools on my long list.
They eventually got moved off.
Yeah. But yeah, and I know this is another one that we had on the list that Tim had mentioned in chat, but X Factor.
X Factor, I don't think they were bad. They just didn't get the push. They didn't do anything. They weren't like losing. They just kind of didn't do much.
This is when the term "go away heat" or X-Pac heat originated, was from X Factor. So, like, you're just ones that were like, what was that?
He was getting some go away heat. He was
like, it was worse than go away heat. It was, I think it was bordering on the edge of like apathy, like they just didn't care, which is arguably worse.
Yeah, like if people are just like not doing anything, and like the members that were chosen for this group.
Yeah, and so
with
it was X-Pac, Albert, and Just Incredible was the three members of X Factor.
Yeah.
Just doesn't work together.
I think maybe if they didn't choose Albert, it might have been better.
Yeah, but he was kind of like, the heavy of the group. WWE, you always got to have your heavy.
Yeah, but I think he's. I think they could have chosen someone else, and it might have been.
Well, Noob, you're supposed to tell us why Pure Fusion Collective should be on the list.
Yes, tell us why.
Yeah. And while you type that up, I have one more honorable mention. The Union. That was Ken Shamrock, The Big Show, Mankind, maybe one more person, but they were fighting at the time Vince McMahon's corporation. So you get it, corporation, union. They're all a bunch of former union members or corporation members who left to form their own group to fight the corporation.
So Matthew Bessinger just messaged me.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to customize you as a WWE 24K player.
24K what?
Yes. 20K 24. 2K 24, sorry. He said, I'm going to put you in a Bret Hart outfit and just call you Canada Dry. So I have a car now. I'm a car in WWE 2K.
No bigger honor, sir.
Canada Dry makes his way to the WWE.
So Tim Tobin says the FBI should be on the list. Personally, I disagree because the FBI and ECW are fantastic wrestlers, and they were taken serious.
Who did you just put on the list before that when I was reading this?
The Union.
See, I feel the Union could have been really cool. Like they were on for like half a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Like they were against the. I think Vince just shut it down.
Yeah, Vince got tired. His infamous 3-week push.
Like I feel like they were only on one show. I might be wrong here.
No, I think they were around for a couple shows. It wasn't much, but they were.
Yeah. but like I feel like who was it? It was Test.
Oh, that's right. It was Test, Big Show, Mankind,
yeah,
and Shamrock.
Oh right, Shamrock was a part of it too.
Yep.
But he didn't want to, whatever reason. Here's another honorable mention, just the War Dogs.
Be more specific, because I've known a couple of different instances of War Dogs.
There was Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman.
Oh, that group. Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know who else was in it, but it was like it was dropped pretty quick.
Was that also with Dolph and Bobby Roode?
Yes, I think so.
Because they were the Dirty Dogs.
Oh yes, that's probably what they did, where they came up with it from the War Dogs.
Yeah.
Well, that's our show, everyone. Thank you for watching. It means a lot that you subscribe and you hit that like button. As you know, you can get some merch here. We got the Just Keep Fighting. You got the Just Keep Fighting background here.
You can't buy that. You have to get that made specially.
Oh yeah, you can't buy it. But hit the links below. After the show, I'll add them. Actually, they're there now, but I'm going to add the donate to Jessica.
The GoFundMe link.
Yeah, the GoFundMe link for JFB and Jessica. I don't know, like they might. It gets expensive doing all this medical stuff, so I imagine that they could lose the help. But raise your fist in the air, put the devil in a sharpshooter, and just keep fighting.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Tony Schiavone for the FN Wrestling Network.